stinking filter. But you guys, it tells me to start it. So
probably 40% of you are making the same mistake with your brows. It's not really a mistake that you're making. It's just the way that your brows grow, and they really should start much sooner according to the ratios that we reward as beautiful as humans. Fair or not, it is what it is. So drawing in that early part of the brow, you can go watch the rest of her video. She does a great job. The only thing I would correct in that is that it needs a softer start. So the easier way to add extra brow where you don't have any, you're drawing brow onto face, is to use a pomade or two. Two is better if you want to get some dimension in the color, and a short, stiff liner brush or brow brush. And I like one with an angle. And that way you have that little pomade that you can just kind of feather out and pull forward so that you don't have a really harsh starting point. The harsh starting point is a problem because when people look at you, they can't help but see contrast. And if the contrast of your eyebrows to the skin between your nose is greater than the contrast of the whites of your eyes to the iris, then people are going to be looking right here, not at your eyes. Here's the filter on me, and I don't mind telling you, I was doing it wrong. My brows were starting in the right place, but my arch was a little off, and so was my tail. And that's because I have always used the nostril as my guidepost, and this filter uses the center of the lip. Now, this gets you a lot closer to that bold glam filter look. It is a little bit more masculinizing, and if you don't like that, don't do this. But if you want to figure out how to do this, let me tell you the really scary part. You're going to have to shave off the end of your brow. It's high maintenance. I'm not necessarily recommending it. I'm just saying if you want to get that filter, I'm glad I did. Honestly, I love it. It's a ton of lift. It's completely rearranged my face, so it took me some time, and it was not easy to do. Like, I'm a pro, and it was still really challenging. I would recommend that you have some makeup wipes, that you have a pencil, and that you give yourself a lot of patience and don't try to do this in a hurry if you're going to try to remap your brows in a completely different way, because muscle memory had me just constantly trying to pull that tail down. I finally got it, and then I cut out to the crease with some concealer afterwards and highlighted under. I felt like that was really necessary, and then I had to take my eyeshadow in a whole new direction, okay? So I used a flamingo feather razor to get rid of mine, and I will have these handy because you're going to need it to keep up with the upkeep in keeping it nice and clean right there. And I will have to draw on the tail of my brow before I leave every day.